Hey guys, let's jump into our first lesson, which is the life cycle of a frog. In the previous video, we talked about the 3 stages of a life cycle. The first stage is the egg, the second is the larva, and then the third stage is the adult. So, looking at a frog goes through a very drastic change, and we talked about another word in that first video called metamorphosis. Okay, so a frog undergoes metamorphosis. So when a frog is born, it starts out as an egg. Now, these eggs don't look like just any ordinary egg that you might eat for breakfast. These are what frog eggs look like. So they are born in a large clump of eggs. So this isn't just one frog, this is a bunch of frogs. And so the mother frog might stay with the little eggs, but a lot of the time the mother lays a bunch of eggs and then leaves. So these eggs are alone to grow up on their own. So the frog stays in this stage for about 1 to 3 weeks. So this is our first stage, the egg. And then once the eggs start to hatch, this is when the drastic changes start to happen. So the next stage that happens is the tadpole stage for the frog. So the eggs already, do these guys look like frogs to you? They don't really to me either. This is what a baby frog looks like, and this is the stage called a tadpole. And what I'm going to show you is how the tadpole starts to grow and starts to form into the frog. So this is our first stage, little tadpole. He's so cute. And then take a look at this. As the tadpole starts to grow, he gets a little longer. Okay, and then check this out. What do we have here? We have some little feet. He's starting to grow bigger. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Our little frog has feet, and then he's starting to grow another pair of legs in the front. At this stage, when the frog is a tadpole, before we look at the next two, they have gills on the side of their neck, so they are able to live in the water at this stage. As the frog starts to grow a little bit older and becomes an adult, the gills are covered with skin. So a layer of skin grows over the gills, and that's when the frog transitions to land. So it starts out in the water, and then during this stage where it's a tadpole and it's growing the different parts of the frog, the skin covers those gills. So we have the tadpole growing a little bit longer and a little bit bigger. And then take a look at this guy. He actually starts to look like a little frog. He's got the frog shape, but what do you notice that he still has? He still has a tail, okay? So he is older, but he's still got the parts of the tadpole that he will lose eventually. So he's still in the tadpole stage. Now, this is the part where the gills are covered by the skin and he's able to leave the water and go onto land. So he's more of an adult frog here, still has a little bit of a tail. Okay, and then our last stage is the adult frog. Okay, so another thing, when the frog is being born and living in the water, he is considered an herbivore. So herbivores only eat plants. So they're more accustomed to eating plants that are in the water. So when they're at this stage, the adult frog stage, they can go out onto the land and eat more insects. And like I said, with the gills, I think that's a really cool fact to know, that when they're in that tadpole stage, they do have gills and that's how they're able to survive in the water. But when they're an adult, those gills are covered by skin and they use their lungs to breathe.